Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? It is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today live for the Healing Hour Live. Now, this is for those of you who have been through the trauma of being cheated on, but you still love your honey. You still want to be with him. And I know that people will tell you that that's just impossible, that you should just give up on any kinds of dreams of you being together ever again because he has just exploded the whole relationship and it will never work. And I am telling you right now from experience, I am telling you right now from helping hundreds of women actually get past this. Guess what? They're lying. It does not have to be like that. You can be happy. You can be close again. You can have those good times again. You can get to the point where you're not angry and hurting all the time. You absolutely can. You just have to follow my dreams formula. I'm trying to tell you, this is exactly what I use and it worked. And I want to spread the news and make sure that as many women as possible can get this information and actually heal. You don't deserve to be miserable forever. You don't deserve that. All right, let me see. Oh, did I not say? I didn't say join me. Oh, dang. I didn't tell everybody. But let me just, while I'm doing this, if you have never done this before, go to streamyard.com/Facebook. And it's going to ask you if you're going to allow me or allow StreamYard to be able to see your name on my screen. That's the only thing I really need you to do. Just go to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow them to do that. All right, so I can see. Let me make sure. Let me tell everybody where I am. Oh, come join me. Let me know if you're here now with me. If you're here on the if you're on the replay, or if you're with me right now, let me know. Give me some likes. Give me some love. Let me know that you're here with me. Oh, come on. There we go. I didn't even say join me. Dang, I must have been off if I forgot to tell you to come join me. I know. Getting all ready and forgot the most important thing to do it at everyone so everybody knows to come see me. Hey, Allie. Glad you're here. Glad you're with me. Oh, go back. There we go. All right. Let me know how you're doing. And of course, I always want to get all of your questions. So make sure that you are keeping track of your questions. Make sure you let me know what your questions are because I want to answer them. I have lots and lots of answers for you. I really do. So if you're having a hard time with something, go ahead and I'll be happy to give you that information. All right. You should not be running around here struggling without that information. All right. I don't know why I'm Carol, you're here with me. Hello. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. I'm right here for the Healing Hour Live. There we go. All right. Make sure I told everybody because I forgot. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start, even though I'm a little off this today. Make sure I can see everything the way I'm supposed to. Okay. All right. Good to go. Make sure that sound is off. Can't have me talking 3 different places. Okay. So everybody that's here, come on in and join me for a little deep breathing. That is one of my top number one things I'm going to always tell you to do when you are trying to get past this type of trauma. You need to be doing your deep breathing. Now, that is for any kind of trauma. Honestly, deep breathing works for almost any kind of pain. So if you're having some kind of pain, slowing down your breathing Inhaling deeply, letting your lungs fill up with that oxygen and actually use it before you blow it back out nice and slowly. That is going to help with lots of different types of pain. It'll help with emotional pain, it'll help with physical pain. So always be doing your deep breathing. Just go ahead and go for that. That is always a good thing for you to do. All right. What we do is a 4-7-8 breathing technique. We will blow out, inhale for 4, hold that breath for 7. All right. If you smoke, if you have never done this before with me, you may have a little bit of a difficult time, but don't you worry about that. Join me for these 3 breaths, and by the end of it, you will have it. All right. And I will count for you. So, we ready? Come on and do the deep breathing with me. All right. First things first, we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Do you feel good? I hope that you feel good. Honestly, it will help you so much if you were just consistently doing that. I know it's easy to forget to breathe, okay? You're like, I'm already breathing, damn it. I don't need to remember to breathe. But when you are in panic state, when you are at fight or flight inside your head, and you are ready to fight or you are ready to run, we can do the deep breathing and bring that feeling down. We do not need all of the accessories of going through a trauma, because this is a person that you love and you want to be with. So all of the things that you go through when you are having trauma, including your breath changing, all of those things are pointing towards this is a person or a creature that is some kind of danger to us. We do not want to be around this person. But if you take back control, you can do the opposite. You can say, no, no, this is absolutely who I want to be around, and I am not going to just walk away from them, and I'm not going to treat them like they are a threat to me just because they have caused me some pain. When you start doing that, start insisting that in your brain, telling your brain consistently, no, this person is not a threat. This is somebody that we love. This is not how we treat somebody we love. If you are constantly working against that autopilot that your brain is on, you will indeed be able to heal. You will do it. I promise you will. Right? The next thing is 5 times a day. Do your breathing. You don't have to do it like every 5 minutes, but at least 5 times during the day, 5 times in a row. That's going to help. It's going to bring that anxiety level from way up here. And you're going to be pushing it down every time you do the deep breathing. A little meditation, a little calming, a little centering, getting your emotions back regulated, back under your control. All right. The second thing, always, I see y'all are here. Let me know. Did you do deep breathing with me? Do you enjoy your deep breathing? Do you find deep breathing works? Do you find it doesn't work? Let me know. Send me some comments about what's going on with your deep breathing. Okay. All right. So the second thing we always talk about is doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you sat down pen and paper, young lady, and actually wrote down your, sat down with them, wrestled with them, talked with them, examined them, instead of, I know the thing is, everybody tells you that, oh, you should just go to him and dump it all on him, and he should just take it all because he's the one that did this wrong, and so he's the one that should suffer. I get that. I totally understand that. But the thing is, when you journal it, you have records of how you actually feel. So some of the time, you're not going to feel terrible. You're going to feel pretty good. And you'll have written that down. And then later on, you get to go back in your journal at a time where you are feeling bad and read back over the things that you said. You're like, I actually wasn't having too hard of a time that day. I actually wasn't having a too hard of a time that week. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Huh. And so then you start to recognize that your brain is lying to you with all the noise that it's screaming at you, swearing that you are just going to be miserable and things are going to be awful for you. And he's going to just treat you like a doormat for the rest of your life. And he never really cared about you. Instead of listening to that, you will know that you had good times. And it has not been all bad. It has not been this person is so much of a threat to you. They have been working on it. You have been working on it. Sometimes you're not going to do very well at that. Sometimes you're going to fail at doing better. Sometimes you're going to fail at healing. Then you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you try again, right? But having that journal is somewhere concrete, and you can write down what is really happening, and your brain can't change it. Your brain can't come around and say, "Oh no, this whole week was just god awful from beginning to end," because you have evidence. You have written down every day that it wasn't that bad. And you will know the lie when you hear the lie. You need to know and recognize when your brain is telling you something that just isn't true. He never loved you. Now, really? Is that really what you think? You know that that's not true, right? He did love you. Of course, he loved you. You would have been with somebody and loved them so much if they didn't care about you at all, right? You know that that's not true, but when your brain is screaming it, it seems like God's reason. Diana, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, girl. Glad to see you. It's been a minute. All right. See, that next thing, always thirsty Thursday. Be grateful. Be thinking about things that you can be thankful for daily, hourly, minutely basis. Okay, I want you to constantly be flooding your brain with all the positive things that you have in your life. Because again, your brain will lie to you and tell you you do not have any of those things. But if you are constantly keeping count of them by being grateful, by being thankful for the things that are around you consistently, your brain cannot continue to lie to you like that. You know, every day you have listed 15, 20 things that you can be thankful for. Um, the happier you are, the easier it is, but the more you practice it, the happier you'll get. Okay, so just start off. Just start. Just try to be thinking all day long. What am I grateful for right now? Even if you have to set an alarm to go off on your phone and tip you off every half hour. Okay, what am I grateful for in this 30 minutes? What am I grateful for in the next 30 minutes? You want to be constantly counting that, constantly thinking about that, and trying to push your way forward into a good, positive mind state. Okay? When you have been through this type of trauma, your brain gets stuck. It gets stuck in everything. It's so terrible. But you don't have to stay stuck. It takes being mindful that your brain is doing that and actually actively fighting against it, looking at the thoughts, examining the thoughts, and then saying, no, I do not believe that. That is not true. I am not going for that. That is not in alignment with the way I live in my life. It is just not, I do not feel like that is correct. All right. And so then you fight back. You fight back every day, all day, and you use those things that you're grateful about to be able to fight back against those negative thoughts. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know. I don't have any Thirsty Thursdays, but you all let me know if you do have something that's going on with you. You're like, hey, wonderful things are happening for me. I want to hear about them and I want to share them. I want to tell other people what good things are happening for you. Okay. So if at any point during this live or if you're catching this on replay, you will tell me a Thirsty Thursday, tell me something good. I always want to hear something good. Okay. All right. And the last thing is, for the love of God, please stop asking questions. I know your brain tells you to. And the post earlier was about asking questions of the other woman. I saw that one. That is, I think that's Diana too. Wasn't that Diana who said that? Not you, Diana, the other Diana. It was, I think it was Diana. Oh, now of course I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Diana posted the lady saying that, look, I have done it for all of us. I went and talked to the other woman, and it was the most horrible thing that I could have done. I did not need that information. And you don't. You really don't. I know that your brain screams to you. You need all of the information in order for this not to happen again, in order for you to feel safe going forward and moving into the next phase with this person. But let me tell you something, that is a big old lie. You are not going to feel safe knowing this extra information. You're just not. All of this information, your brain is not screaming that to help you. Okay? It is doing that to hinder you. So the next time you will not open yourself up. You will not be willing to be open and vulnerable with this person because you'll have all of this information in your head about how stupid you were, that you didn't even realize that he did this, that, and the third to you, and you didn't even notice. Yeah, that's what your brain is going to be doing to you. It's going to be using that information against you as you're trying to heal. Do not ask the questions. Sitting down with them and trying to express to them how hurt you are. That's not helpful. It does not help. I know you want it to help. I know venting to them and having them feel like, oh, well, this hurt is just so big. She's just never going to get over it. I know that that's satisfying. But the thing is, if you actually do want to make it with this person, you cannot feed them desperation. You cannot tell them that there is no hope. You will not believe that there is hope, and they will not believe that there is hope either. So you can't keep talking about the negative. You cannot keep doing it. You cannot keep rehashing how hurt you are, how you felt, all of the details. I know you want to, but it is not good for you. Okay? If it was good for you, I'd say go for it. Okay? I am all about doing the things that work. That is not one of the things that work. So stop with all the questions. Do not ask the other person. Do not ask your mate all of those questions that are going through your head. Again, sit down with your journal. Right there. And this one might be filled up fast, but might have a little bit more room in one like this. Sit down with your journal. Put those questions in your journal, and you're going to see how many times you ask the same question over and over again in your head. You may even ask him the question and then find out the answer. And then later on, your brain is going to be like, oh no, we didn't find that out. Ask him again. Or I didn't like that answer. Ask him again and see if he comes up with a different answer, which is just sabotaging. All right. If you keep asking the same question over and over again, you are expecting a different answer. It is a setup for a lie. If you keep saying, okay, I want to know this, and he's like, okay, this, and then you're like, I don't believe you. Tell me another story. He's gonna tell you another story. All right. So all in all, let's stop with the question. We not do that to ourselves. We don't have to do that to ourselves. We don't have to keep on struggling with the painful questions. Let's treat our brains to a little bit more of a positive question. All right. The Healing Edition deck, very nice game. I do recommend this. You sit facing one another, you choose an equal number of random cards for the day, you take 30 seconds to relax and look at one another, and then you alternate asking and answering all the questions. Simple, right? And if there is one that is a little sensitive, that may be something that, okay, if I answer this question, we're going to have a problem, you can earn the right to remain silent by looking the person in the eye for 10 seconds before you say pass. Very simple instructions, very simple, but you will have that satisfaction of asking the question, and but you won't be finding out information that is painful to you. Does that make sense? So I would give you some of these. Diana, you said you're still struggling? You know, we have more good days than bad. Well, that's not struggling then. That is improving. If it's more good days than bad, you're not actually struggling anymore. If you can count it out, you're like, no, I'm sure there are more good days now than there are bad days. You are improving. You are climbing that mountain. Don't give yourself a hard time and say that you're still struggling. You are doing well if you're having more good days than bad ones. All right? Give yourself that credit. Marsha Lynn, CCN, I see you over there on Instagram. Hello. Diane said, I can't say we're awesome, better would be more realistic. Exactly. Just doing better. We're gonna just keep on doing better and better. Isn't that the goal? That's the goal for our whole entire lives, isn't it? We just gonna work on doing better and better and better every single time we're out here. Marsha Lynn said, hey, hope we're all well. We are, Marsha. We are feeling pretty good today. Well, remember to do your deep breathing, remember to do your journaling, remember to be thankful. Now we'll do a couple of these end questions for you. Angela, hi. Glad you're here, girl. Glad you are with us. Moderator. All right. This one says, what do you think life is teaching me right now? And what do you recommend do about it? Ooh, that's deep, right? What do you think life is teaching me right now? And what do you recommend I do about it? We're here. What do you think life is teaching me right now? And what do you recommend I do about it? Oh, see, they love solutions for you. And it's one of their most annoying qualities, but it is a useful quality. If they will come up with a plan for you, honey, they will. So if he can give you a recommendation, it will probably work. So hear them out. And if it goes the other way, try and give something um, sensitive, thoughtful, not poking at him, telling him that he's just awful. Okay, with that question, because that's an easy one. If you had to recommend that he do something about, what life is teaching him, you're like, it's going to teach you that to be a good cheater. No, don't do that. Okay, don't mess up the game. All right, next one is going to be: what do you think you misunderstand one another, and what do you suggest we do about it? Love it. When do you think we misunderstand each other, and what do you think we should do about it? When do you think we misunderstand one another, and what do you suggest we do about it? All right. And then one more, just for the heck of it. Huh, that's interesting. Choose words to describe our connection. It's an interesting question. Choose 5 words to describe our connection. 5 words. All right. So that is my basics right there. That is the basics of getting past this infidelity. You gotta start with simple things. Okay. I know that you want to get complex. I know you want everything to be fixed all at the same time. But that is not realistic, and that is going to frustrate you. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you anxious. So let's not try to fix everything at the same time. Let's just start working on our own emotions, getting those under control, getting back to a regulated place, centering ourselves, and start to work on some of the relationships. If you're in the moment and you are just hurting and you can't think straight, and all you want to do is lash out, you're not going to be creating a good relationship now. You are angry. You don't want to create a good relationship. You want to hurt somebody. Okay, so we need to get to the point where we are not hurting, so that we are not hurt people who hurt people. All right. You can't keep going in that cycle of lash out at you for not being understanding. And I'm not going to understand, so I'm going to lash out at you. And just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth forever. You don't have to do it that way. You can start to calm yourself, start centering yourself, get control over your own emotions. I promise you can do it. I promise you can without his help. I know you can. I promise you can. And then you get to a better place together. All right. You're always lashing out. You're always angry. It's hard to recognize that you actually still love, that you really do still care about that person. So let's move on. Healing, giving that love, getting ourselves together, calming ourselves down, and then we can work a little bit efficiently on the relationship on the flip side of that. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if I sound like a crazy person. And do indeed let me know what your Thirsty Thursday are too. Good stuff now. I want to hear the positives that are going on in your life. All right. Let's see. Back up here. There we go. All right, we got some questions. I got question time. If you have questions, I am here for you. That is what I'm here to do. I'm here to answer all your burning questions about healing after infidelity. Now, let me tell you this, because this has been a struggle over this past week. And okay, if you're thinking that I'm talking about you, I may be. Okay. I have been struggling with people are like, well, you should do it differently than the way you're doing it. And I fully understand that. I understand the desire to be sympathized with, for me to say to you, oh, you're so right about everything that you're feeling. You're totally justified in everything that you're doing. I get the desire to want that, but I'm going to tell you stuff that's going to piss you off, okay? I cross my heart. I will absolutely tell you stuff that's going to piss you off. I'm going to tell you things that are difficult. I'm going to tell you things that you do not want to do, including not answering those questions. That is one of those things you really want to do, and I'm telling you, you really shouldn't, okay? I'm going to tell you things that are going to annoy you. I'm going to tell you things that you're like, no, that's backward. You shouldn't do it like that. But I have tried it the other way. I have. I promise you, all the ways that you're trying to do it and trying to push through it now, and you're not getting anywhere, I've done all that. And I know that it doesn't work. And I know it does work. So come join me. Come join me on the healing path. We're going to answer some questions. You let me know if you have any questions for me, okay? But prepare to be mad at me. Go ahead, be mad at me. It's okay. I don't mind at all. I like to redirect when I'm coaching women. You all get mad at me. You're not mad at him. So like, I can take it. You can redirect it at me if you want to, and telling you these difficult things to do. I know. I did. But yeah, go ahead and direct that at me. I'll direct that at you. Let's see. All right, we got questions. All right, let's start at the bottom here. All right, Lena said, how to build trust and how to heal. Ooh, girl, that's a lot. That's a whole big topic. All so how to build trust by itself is a big topic. But we're going to talk about it. And and how to heal. How to heal is my dreams formula. That is what it is. That is what it is. You will be healing if you're going along with the dreams formula. Make your decision. Recognize that you're going to be fearful about that decision and say, sit the hell down, fear. I'm still going through with it. Examine the why, figure out what has happened here, what his pain was that caused him to think that such a stupid idea was a good idea. Because that comes from pain. Nobody is that dumb because they are feeling great about themselves. Okay? We're only that dumb when we're doing something. We're hurting on the inside. Okay? The E is figuring that out. What is going on with him that caused that? And it's not you. It's not, oh, he doesn't love you. It's not that. A is allowing that healing to happen. allowing yourself to have good times together without you constantly bringing up something that's a problem, without you constantly bickering, without you constantly poking at the big red button in the room. You do not have to keep doing that. We can step gingerly around the big red button. We do not have to keep on annoying one another. And we will get longer and longer spaces where we are healing together, we're feeling good together. And then when there comes a bump, we can remember, wait a minute, we were just doing well. We had this long period of time where we were okay. I think we'll be okay, and let's figure out how to do this. All right. And then there is the M, which is managing those future feelings. Um, Triggers. Simply put, it's the triggers. Dealing with the triggers, understanding the triggers, knowing when triggers are going to come is always going to be the anniversary one. There's always going to be the date that you found out, the date that you got all the truth. You know, there was all these different dates that could be triggers to you. You have to figure out what you're going to do about the trigger before the trigger happens. Because once the trigger happens, you are out of control. You're going to remember your plan. Okay, you got to. Well, you're not going to remember that you're supposed to have a plan. If you consistently think about your plan and you're working on your plan, you're not going to fall prey to all the triggers. And then the S is for support. Seek some support. Get somebody who will be like, yes, I see you, Queen. I see you. You love this person, and you are just gung ho about love and about rebuilding, and about getting close and being happy together. And damn it, that is amazing. And I want to be a part of helping you do that. That is the person that you need to seek support from. Don't get any less than that. All right. Don't do that to yourself. If you keep on getting people who just don't care as much as you do, who keep on trying to say, well, you can just go ahead and leave them. It would be understandable if you did, even though you're telling them that's not what you want to do. That is not support. That is not a supportive person. You are telling them specifically what you want, and then they're turning around saying something completely different. That's not helpful. So you gotta find that support. So that's the healing. That is the thing. Okay, those are the steps to the healing process is a journey formula. That's what you're going to be consistently doing over and over and over again. If you are having a hard time, okay, go back to your decision. Okay, if the decision is easy, go back to your fears. What are my fears? What am I worried about happening here? What am I anxious about? What thoughts are coming into my head that are interfering with me getting closer to my honey? Evaluate the why. A lot of the time, the why will keep leading you into, oh, it was me. It was something about me. He didn't love me. He didn't care about me. It had to be about them. No, it wasn't. It was about something inside of him that didn't have anything to do with him. You know, so every time you're having a hard time, go back through this formula. Go back through it and see if you're missing something from a previous step. And then trust. Have to, trust is a little bit lengthier discussion. Hold on about trust. Let me see. Let me see. See other questions. Candace says for 4.5 months since I found out my husband was unfaithful. Still, can I answer the question if I actually want to make it work? Because one day I'm okay, next I'm angry. Should I know by now? Maybe I am one who cannot overcome his infidelity. I'm a counselor, read things, listen to podcasts, etc. Candace, I hate to tell you this. You've already made up your mind. You are staying. It is 4.5 months later. You are staying, and you are taking steps to stay. Stop giving yourself a hard time about it. That's all. That's the first thing. Remember, I just said the decision is the thing. That's why that's the first step of the dream formula, because you're going to get yourself all worked up in knots over, I haven't really decided. When you are actively deciding. You are seeing a counselor, you're reading things, you're doing podcasts, you hear what you are saying, Candace. I know, it blows your mind sometimes. I know that. But you are saying. You have made up your mind. You just keep telling yourself you haven't because you're hurt. Accept that. Accept that you have made up your mind. Tell yourself, yes, I'm staying. I am working it out. This is the person that I love. Yes, it was devastating. Yes, I very much considered not continuing the relationship, but I am continuing it. I am doing that. I am continuing the relationship. That is what is happening. And once you get on that level, once you tell your brain that that's what we're doing, then it'll stop arguing with you about leaving. If you're not leaving, that's not what's happening. That's not what you are doing. Maybe later you might leave. Maybe. But right now, as of now, you do know what you want to do. You keep telling yourself that you don't. The fear keeps telling you that no, you're wrong. You're staying and it's the wrong thing to do. But you've already made your decision. Your heart told you to stay. That's what happened. Okay? Does that make sense to you? I know it's hard. I know that's a hard pill to swallow. It is because you look at yourself and you're like, damn it, didn't I say? I've never stay in a situation like this. That's why I always tell people, don't ever say never. Because you don't know what situation is going to come up in your life. And you don't know how important people in that situation are going to be to you until it happens. So a lot of people can say, oh, I wouldn't be with the person who cheated on me. And then they'll end up saying, because they're a person. It's not because, oh, I'm a doormat and I'm just allowing somebody to roll over my boundaries. This was a special person that you have decided that is special enough for you to actually want to forgive and want to move forward with. If you have that, cling to it, girl. Cling to it. Work it out. Figure it out. Okay? Good. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad. Glad you can get me on that. Lou, hello. I just want to drop my favorite glass of wine. He was there and immediately when he get the broom off, man, don't move. I don't want you to get hurt. Oh, I love it. Love it. He came back and said, I need to take care of my student. Oh, my first kid was, oh, he loves and cares about me. He had a procedure done 2 days after. Oh, see, he was like, hey, you about to look out for me. Let me look out for you first, real quick. And that's that, ooh, that's that goodness. That's that good relationship stuff. That's that good rebuilding, recreating this relationship into something even better than it was before. Excellent stuff. I love that. That's some good Thirsty Thursday right there. Tara! Tara, I haven't seen you in a minute either. Hey, how you doing, girl? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Let me know if you got questions. I'm here to answer your questions. Now, let's see. All right, let me go back to the trust thing. Let me go back to that because it gets a little deep, okay? Um, the first thing you have to know about rebuilding trust is nobody asked you to trust him 100%. I know that that seems like a thing. You're like, well, I'm supposed to be able to trust the person that I love 100%. That is not so. You shouldn't trust any other person 100%. Do you trust yourself 100%? Do you got like 100% trust in you? I'm like 99. I'm pretty trusting of myself. But most women that I meet are not 100% trusting of their own thoughts, of their own things. So trying to ask for your mate to be somebody that you trust with 100% certainty is not realistic. Okay. It is never going to be that. The only reason that you felt like it was like that at first was because you fell in love. And when you fall in love, all these brain chemicals change, all the hormones are working against you having doubts. And it will tell you, oh, but you should trust this person 100%. Throw your heart open for them. They are your person. You love them. It does not matter. You can trust them with everything. You have no real concrete evidence that that is so. You don't have that when you first fall in love. You just believe that this person you love so much, they got to be trustworthy because you love them so much. But they were still just a person. They were never 100% trustworthy. None of us are. All right. So that's the first thing. So let's back it down from 100. Let's say 70, 80%. All right. Now you gotta go into, well, all right, you don't trust him not to be unfaithful. That is one way of not trusting him. And you don't trust him to be 100% transparent. That is one way of trusting him. But do you trust them with the kids? Do you trust them with the money? Do you trust him to show you gratitude, show you appreciation, to show you love? Do you trust him to help you? Do you trust him to believe in you? Do you trust him to love you exactly the way you are? Because there's a lot of other ways to trust somebody. I know that this part seems like it takes everything. This part that they were faithful to me, but it still comes back to that 100% thing. That is 100%. You should always be more concerned about me than you. And that is not even a reasonable thing to ask. We are supposed to be first concerned with ourselves, figuring out how we're going to navigate this life, do the best job that we can possibly do. And what happened when they cheated was you got the sense that, oh, well, I'm giving you 100% of me, and you don't have to worry about that, but you're not giving me 100% of you. 100% is a lot to ask. 100% of yourself to anybody else is a ton to ask. And I'm saying that maybe we need to back up on that a little bit. Maybe we need to stop making our standard be that if they're not 100% faithful to us doing everything that we feel like is the right thing, then they can't be trusted. We, we don't have to think like that. We don't actually have to do that. It's just a belief system. It's just it comes from our core beliefs of insecurity and feeling like we're not good enough. It comes from all of that, but it's not necessarily true. So there are lots of ways to trust. People say that, oh well, I don't trust him on anything now. But he didn't mess up on everything. He didn't mess up on everything. He didn't mess up on being a dad. He didn't mess up on a decent person for the most part. It's just the fact that he did something that was untrustworthy in that particular area. If you can remember trustworthy 70% of that trust that you got now, okay, that is all in other areas besides him being faithful. It's maybe 5% of, okay, I gotta be absolutely faithful. That is the 100% thing, that perfectionism is a killer because you're trying to make I said this today, trying to make the great be the enemy of the good. If you got like somebody that you trust, like 75%, you got something. Okay? Somebody telling you, oh, since you can't trust them 100% of the time, you don't have nothing. No, I have a good, solid person. 75% of the time, that's a passing grade. 75% of the time, I know he's with me. I know I can trust him. I know that is going to happen. So, okay, that's not a bad thing. So let's if you're really working on building the trust, first check and see in other areas, do you trust? And if you've got other areas that make up a good amount of trust, lean on those areas. Just because he's not trustworthy in this area doesn't mean that he's not trustworthy. Does that, you tell me, does that make sense? Let me know. Because that 100% thing, that's just, ooh, that's a lot. I ain't 100% trustworthy. I am not. You tell me right now, you raise your hand if you feel like you're 100% trustworthy right now. But give me like, if you're like, no, I'm not 100% trustworthy. Let me know, because we're just people. Honestly, if you really feel like that about yourself, you're probably a hard person to deal with. You're like 100% trustworthy on everything. You probably have some blind spots to yourself. But if you are a real live person, you love this other person, you're both going to mess up. So let's not expect 100% from anybody on this planet because we're not getting that. That's entirely too much ask. Well, that makes sense. That's the basis of the trust thing. And then as far as trust, if you want to trust, practice it. Do it. Don't sit there and wait for something to give you trust. Nothing is going to come up with a platter and say, here's your trust back. That's not going to happen. You got to actively work on it. You got to say to yourself, okay, yes, I'm going to trust today and do it. And then, okay, if you fail at it, come back and do it again. All right? That makes sense? Angela, Angela, I found out. Don't go reading too much in everything. Tell it. I overanalyze every single word he said. If I start doing that, I do ask to clarify what he said before I wrestle with it for yes, because you'll be assuming that he was meaning something bad, and that's just another part of trauma. You assume that the person who hurt you is thinking something bad. They're trying to hurt you, and that is a normal human thought, but it's not necessarily true. He's not probably trying to hurt you every time he comes to you. I know he doesn't want to do that because they don't want to have that much of a problem. I ain't never met a man who won't argue. You ever met one of those? It's a very to find a man who won't get into an argument. He listens to argument. He wants you to be happy. That is how he knows he is doing a good job. You are happy, then he can be happy. That's all he's asking for. That's all he's looking for. So, don't read on into it. Don't assume the worst. If you need to clarify, clarify. And if you're still feeling some kind of way about it, you need to step back from it for a day. Just, okay, not today. I'm going to give that 24 hours and let that settle in my soul for a little while and see if I'm still mad about it tomorrow. A lot of stuff you'll be mad in the moment, and then tomorrow it will not be the same. So that happens with a lot of arguments, especially as you're going forward. You're like, what the hell are we arguing about? It was vicious. We were in each other's face, but what were we about? Because the trauma will kind of block that stuff out. It will make you forget the intense fight that you were having last night. It'll make you forget exactly what you were fighting about. So, don't let it wrestle in your brain. Hear it, be like, okay, I'm going to let that sit for about 24 hours. And tomorrow, if I'm still upset about it, I'm a journal. That's the first thing. Do that first. And okay, I'm a journal about it, and then I'm going to do 24 hours. And if it's still bad in 24 hours, I'm going to come up with good questions about it. We're still not talking about it yet. We're still not going to do that. We're going to sit down with each other again and ask yourself questions about it and examine it in your brain and see if you couldn't turn it around in your head to mean something that it did not mean. All right? Sit with it again. All right? Then, okay, another 24 hours go by. So that's about, what, 3 days, 4 days since this argument happened? Chances are you're going to forget about it. But if you do not, at that point, you sat with it 3 days straight, 3 in a row. All right, fine. Maybe you can say something about it. But usually by the time that rolls around, you have forgotten. Other stuff is happening. Your life has gone on, and you're not sitting there, hopefully, still mad about something that happened 3 days ago. That works. Let me know how it works for you. Terry, you said you're good. You haven't been there. I'm glad. You let me know if you got questions back. I haven't seen you in a good little minute here. I for sure want to answer any questions. All right. Another one, Christina. Christina said, depression, pulling out of it. How we do that? What do we do about it? And the thing is, okay, you gotta recognize what depression is. Because you could be sad, okay? You can absolutely be sad about this. You may not necessarily be depressed. Depression is a suite of symptoms that is not necessarily just being sad. Um, People will feel apathetic more when they are feeling depressed. It means you just don't care. Like you just can't work up enough to care about it. So if you're still in the sad, you may not actually be depressed. You may just be sad for a good reason. Something bad happens to you, you're sad about it. If it lasts for a while, then you may be falling into depression. So always, first thing with depression, feed yourself, drink water, take a shower. All right, always, 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 always your go-to. If you are feeling like I just can't get out of this damn bed, I don't know what's going on with me, and you can't get up to take a shower at that particular moment, get yourself a cup of water. Okay, every time you're like, oh, I'm just feeling so bad, this is so awful, hydrate. All right. A lot of the time, if you've been stressed, you will be getting dehydrated at the same time. You start to feel weaker because you are weaker. You have not been feeding your body properly. You have not been hydrating it properly. So at the same time, you're mentally suffering. Your body is suffering too. So if you feel yourself slide down into depression, that is always my first go-to things are to stop, get yourself some water, feed yourself something good, nutritious, something warm, something comforting, something that will make you feel like, okay, all right, I'm filled up, my belly's full, okay, I'm taking care of these calories. I am not just ignoring myself and starving myself. And get up and take a damn shower. It's been a couple of days. Okay, you got your water in you, right? You were able to eat a little something, shower. You are going to feel going to perk you up to go get in the shower. Depression. Take a selfie and post it. You got lots and lots of friends and family on Facebook. Don't you have 100 people right now who would heart and tell you how beautiful you look in a selfie if you posted it right this second? Think about it, right? Doesn't that lift you up a little bit to feel good about yourself? You're like, oh, yeah, everybody said I'm pretty today. I got your post. That's like I do. Be You can do a little bit of retail therapy if you're careful about it. Treating yourself to something nice sometimes. You know, I see, I am not a big coffee drinker, but I love a Starbucks white chocolate mocha. Okay, hey, if I'm feeling down or if it's a really just awful morning, like the other day, it was just nasty and dark and cloudy. I am going to go get myself a Starbucks. I'm going to get myself a white chocolate mocha. You can do some little stuff like that for yourself as long as you're not trying to max out credit cards to try and make yourself feel better. Therapy, of course. Medication is always on deck. I was a nurse for 20 years. Trust me when I say we got medicine out here. If you need it, all right, you do not have to suffer. That is unnecessary. If you are having such a hard time that it has depression, has put you down, go to the doctor, get on some antidepressants. Work with that for a little while. And then, okay, we can see about coming off of it. You don't have to stay on it forever and ever and ever. But while you're trying to climb back out of this hole, yeah, take the medicine. Okay? All right? Those are my basics, Christina. Go back to the basics when you're feeling all depressed like that. Go back to the basics. All right, let's see. Susan says, how to get over my anger. I want to just take that thing and knock the piss out of her. She knew me and really thought my husband was going to stop me from getting her. I guess she forgot. The second time he is married. I need to learn how to let the anger go. Yes, you do. My thing was the queen thing. Um, okay, he's the king, and you know in all the stories they end up sleeping with a peasant girl too. Okay, all right. That does not make you less than the queen. And you do not have to dirty your royal hands in order to do her. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It is much more effective to let her think that you are forgotten. That it yeah, yeah, that was a bad time, but I pretty much forgot about that. I don't even think about you. That is always my favorite. That's the deep cut right there. If you want to make the side chick mad, it's not caring about her at all, considering her no type of thing. I'm I'm gonna keep my crown straight. I'm not gonna be sitting here rolling in the street with you, peasant girl. I am not gonna do that. I worth too much. You felt like you were not worth enough. You came out here, you knew that he was married. You knew that. But your self esteem was so poor and your desperation was so thick that you decided to go ahead and sleep with a married man for the hell of it. Okay, if that's really what you want to do with your life, but it looks real devastating. It looks like it looks like you threw your legs open for somebody to make help help you feel better about yourself. You feel better about yourself? It doesn't look like you would feel better. To me, it looks like, ooh, ooh, that's ugly. To me. So, that's always my thing. That is always um, how I want you to handle it. I want you to feel in your queenliness that this is no need for you to even be bothered with. She is dumb. Okay. Yes, you could get to her. Yes, you could because you were the queen. You could get to anybody. But why? For what? Expending that energy on her to show her what? That she's worth your energy? I think not. This is not for me. I don't want you to know that I'm extending my energy. I might be thinking about it, but you are never okay. So you tell me what you think about that. Let me know. All right. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions over here. Y'all got questions? Coming up to the end of the hour. If you got questions, let me know. If something sounded crazy and you're like, explain that again, I'm with you. Now, okay, everybody that's here, go to the pinned feature in my Facebook group and come on and join me in a little sit down. I did some last month and I was gonna put up a Black Friday sale. Okay, let me tell you what happened. All right, so Stripe is who I do all my payments through, right? All right, so the other day they had this thing. They were like, all of these types of businesses. They were like, you can't have any of these types of businesses because they're not okay, they're not legal, don't do it. And so I went through and I did the whole thing, and they were like, okay, everything is still on hold until we review this. And then they came up and they went to my website, and my website isn't done. So they were like, you have to see your website and what you're offering to be able to open up your account again. That would be lovely if my account was open and I can get the money out and pay somebody to finish it. But that's where we are at this point. So I am going to have to sit my butt down and figure out how to finish off the rest of this website so that they can see it and they can open my doggone account back up. So I couldn't even do my Black Friday stuff that I was planning on doing last Thursday because all of that happened. So I'm on the website now. Hopefully I get that all done and then they'll open up my account again and Black Friday. But in the meantime, since that's not totally my fault, but since it's not something on my end, I'm going to do some one-on-ones. You come, sign up for it, and with my calendar link, and you can sign up to talk to me. If you've done it before, that's all right. I don't even have to catch another one. If you've done it before, you've actually gotten to talk to me for an hour before, that's 45 minutes. But if you've gotten to do that before and you want to do it again, it is open today. It is. So let me put that into the comments here. That is. So that is the link, and I'm going to put it in my Instagram and my link tree. But you can all for sure come talk to me because you know I want to talk to you. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about my programs and whatnot in my Black Friday sale when we get a chance to chat. Hopefully by the time we get this whole thing. All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about? Any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything? I enjoy every time we get together. I love all of our talks. I love all the interesting questions that you ask. I love how thoughtful that you all are. I love how wonderful and open and loving you all are, even in the midst of your pain. You still want to be loving, you still want to be kind, you still want to be understanding. I love that about you. And that's why I love to talk to each and every one of you because that is a brilliant, beautiful thing in this world. Um, at a time where, everybody would tell you, okay, well, you need to just go ahead and leave, walk out the door, turn around now, you're not welcome. Okay, yeah, no, and everybody says that, but you don't have to live that. If this is the person that you love, why do you have to give them up? Why do you have to do that? I feel like that's unfair. I feel like you didn't do anything wrong. They did something wrong, and you shouldn't have to end the relationship just because they did something wrong. That's unreasonable. I feel like you should be able to have the love that you want with the person that you want, in spite of the circumstances. So I'm going to tell you to get yourself in alignment with that person, that one that you want to be. You want to be happy. You want to be loving. You want to be understanding and open and vulnerable and forgiving. You want to do all that. Get in alignment with that person. Do those loving, kind, understanding, thoughtful things. And don't worry so much about them. Don't try and have them fix you. You are quite capable of fixing yourself. All right. I know it seems unfair to have to do that, but you're more effective at it. You are the person who will help you to heal fast, and you shouldn't have to stay in pain any longer than necessary. So, number one, I want you to be able to just go for it and open your heart up and get to a better place in your relationship. Angela, my husband, I feel like these last bit helping us heal the point we're at right now. I'm so glad, Angela. That makes me so happy. I'm glad that you can watch it together. That's lovely, and I'm glad that they are actually helping you do that. That was my whole point because nobody would tell me exactly how to heal. I was like, look, yeah. You don't want me to be with them, but I am. So how do I heal? And nobody will answer that question for me. So I love to answer that question. I want to tell you all the details about how. Lou, it's a lovely dress I'm wearing. Oh, looks like something makes me look. It is actually a shirt, but it's a yeah, it's got that shape like like that 50s type thing going on. I like it. Yeah, right. But yeah, it's a shirt. I got all my things underneath it, but yes, it's very comfortable and it's so comfortable. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you so much, love. I gotta come here looking good. Can't be coming in here half talk. Come talk to you. I got my lighting. I told y'all before, the lighting is one of those things, and I'm like, oh, I can't do without that now. I need that light. I look like a monster. What I don't have my lighting. All right. Let's see. Let's do an affirmation. At the end of every one of these, I'm going to give you an affirmation because you are constantly affirming things, even if they're not positive things. If you keep on affirming the negative thought, it becomes an affirmation. It becomes what your brain goes to by default. What we need to do is replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations so that is what our brain goes to instead of, oh, I'm so miserable and things are so bad. So let's do one of these affirmation cards here. Another good thing you get when you do my tech support program. My tech support program is half off right now. If you do my tech support program with me, you get like as long as the program lasts, you get every day all types of affirmations. I send you affirmations every single solitary day. Tell you something good. Tell you something about you and every day in your email. So good stuff. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. I want you to say it with me, okay? Today, I feel worthy. Can we say it? Can we say it like we mean it? Can will say it from my chest. Please and thank you. Today I am worthy. I am worthy. Okay? You're the queen, damn it. You're worthy. Right? So today I want to accept all of the wonderful things in this life. Today you are worthy of every bit of them. You're worthy of them every day. But you just don't always think that. So I want you to start with your affirmation for today. Today I feel worthy. I am sure that I am worthy of it. I am the most wonderful person for him out here. I am worthy of every bit, every drop of love that I can have out of this relationship. I am worthy of it. I deserve it. I am going to be happy about it. All right. All righty. Well, that is about it. That is the end of the Hour Live. Now, next week, I'm not going to be here because it's Thanksgiving next week. So I hope that you all have a very good time cooking and spending time with your family. In the meantime, as we are leading up to this holiday, I understand the holidays are super stressful, okay? A lot of things come to the light in holidays, and so then you may be battling with that. Come get on a call with me this week. I have spots open. You can come get on a call with me. Come talk to me and work this out so that you have a pleasant holiday, so that you're not sitting there stressed and angry your entire Thanksgiving, okay? You don't need to do that. You can be happy this holiday, and I definitely want you to, okay? All right. So, yeah, look, you know what? See, I open up time on that Thursday. Take that off because I'm not going to talk to anybody on Thursday, but I will talk to people before that. There are days, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday this week before the holiday are free. So if you're going to talk, um, a lovely, lovely time with you as always. Remember, say your affirmations like you believe them and don't do what the fear is telling you to do this week. Whatever it's saying, it's lying. It will lead you the wrong way. All right? All right. That's about it. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you again on the 1st of December for the next hour live. All right? All righty, y'all. Bye.